Hey team, it's Mr. Z, and last time we introduced the order of operations and a new way to remember it. We're going to do a smidgering of problems and just kind of test your ability to evaluate precisely. The technique I show you is going to require use of colors and a pencil. You're using your notebook. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So in number 1, it's asking what operation would you perform first? And to do so, you're going to consult PEMDAS. Well, you see A, I'm going to go ahead and start with the parentheses. So inside of the parentheses, I'm going to add. For B, I'm going to go ahead and consult my order of operations. I usually like to write it on the top of every single piece of paper that I will be evaluating. So I'm going to go ahead. Is there any parentheses? Nope. Is there any exponents? Nope. I'm going to go ahead and multiply and divide, and I'm going to scan left to right. And it turns out that I'm going to have to multiply here first. For C, again, similar process. Parentheses? No. Exponents? No. Multiplication and division left to right? Yeah. I would divide. All right. D. Oh, there's a parentheses. What would I have to do first inside of the parentheses? Subtract. Go ahead and complete E through H. Pause before proceeding. All right, hopefully right now you've completed E through H on your own. I'm going to go ahead and do number 2, and basically it's saying evaluate each numerical expression. Evaluating is going to be a key skill. It's basically, can you take a complicated sentence and write it as a single number? The answer is you better be able to. So I'm going to use 2 colors. I'm going to use black, and then I'm going to use red to help illustrate what changes. So the idea is that I'm going to go slow and precise. I am going to go ahead and have to analyze what I'm going to do first. It is not multiply. Inside of the parentheses, I'm going to have to subtract. So what is 6 minus 2? 4. Now it is inside of a parentheses, and notice how I switched over to my pencil. And this is because this is already before. I want to make sure that I only do one step at a time and I rewrite everything. Now, there are no exponents. I'm going to multiply 4 times 4, which is going to be 16. And that is the answer to this numerical expression. C. Okay, I have to multiply and divide left to right. 6 times 9 shows up first. 6 times 9 is 54. Now, what was left? Divided by 3. 54 divided by 3. First in line, first in the box. First in line, first in the box. I have to divide 54. Well, 3 goes into 5 one time. That's because 5 is between 3 and 6. 3 times 1 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. I bring down the number, and then I repeat the process. 3 goes into 24 8 times, leading my answer to just be 18. All right, D. Notice how I have to analyze and look. Parentheses, no. Exponents, no. Is there any multiplication and division? No. I'm going through this mentally, is the idea. Now, this last part, I have to add and subtract going left to right. So I am going to subtract first because it occurs further to the left. 25 minus 7 is 18. and I rewrite everything else. 18 plus 10 is 28. Go ahead and pause the video. Take the opportunity to answer E, F, G, H, and I, and so on. Okay. Number 3 is the same deal. It's a little more complicated problems. The idea is that take your time, use PEMDAS to help guide your steps. And the idea is that you are going to be constantly simplifying it one step at a time until you're left with just one answer. I do want to take a moment to talk about number 4, and it's basically the idea of where I have to insert a parentheses to make each statement true. So remember, parentheses is a grouping symbol. So I have to put it somewhere to make each statement true. I just want to draw attention to the fact that G is a numerical expression. A is a equation. It is an equation because it has an equal sign. It is a math sentence with an equal sign. An expression does not have a equal sign. Key note. So I have to put the parentheses somewhere. The idea is that I want my answer to be 9. So there's 3 possibilities. I put it here. I put it between here. And I put it here. Now I need to get 9. Well, I can look at it and see 8 plus something equals 9. In my head, 8 plus something equals 9. That something has to be 1. So is there a way I can jerry rig it to be 1? And it's like, oh, if I put it here, well, 7 divided by 9 is going to be a fraction, and the answer is not a fraction. That doesn't help me. If I put it here, 8 plus 7 is 15 divided by 9 minus 2 equals 9. And if I look at my list of 9s, 15 isn't even on the list. So it's not divisible. The only place I could really put the parenthesis is here. Now watch why. Normally, without the parenthesis, I would need to divide first, and that gives me a fraction. But by inserting the parentheses here, my first step has to be to subtract 9 minus 2. 7. Rewrite everything else around it. What would I do now? Divide before I add. Is 8 plus 1 equal to 9? Yeah. Okay. I have made this true. Or as 2 Chainz says it, true. That's it for now.